Hey there, so in this video I'm going to break down what my two highest conviction investments are for the next 5 to 10 years and break down why I'm so bullish on them. Now, bottom line up front, if you just came for the conclusion, it's Palantir and Ethereum. But if you want to stick around to see the more detailed breakdown of why I've built up so much conviction in these two investments, then stick around. Very briefly, let me tell you my general investing thesis, and then I'll break down the specifics of why Palantir and why Ethereum. Now, in my opinion, and lots of other people believe this too, the best way to invest if you're picking individual stocks or cryptocurrencies or other investments is to pick things that have huge growth potential, that have paradigm shifting or 10x or 20x potential. Why? Well, if you're not investing in those types of companies or technologies, then you're probably better off just buying an index fund. Many or even most investors don't actually outperform the index, and the simplest way to have a solid and steady return on investment over time is to simply just buy into something like the S&P 500 and hold it forever. So when you think about taking on the added risk of trying to outperform it, to beat it, you don't want to do it just to beat it by 2% or 3% or even 5%. If you're taking on the additional risk of actually trying to beat what most people can't do, you only want to do something like that if you're going to outperform it by a pretty significant margin. And so my approach is to try and pick companies or technologies that in the long term have the potential to have explosive growth, that have revolutionary potential. Of course, there's other ways to outperform the market. You could do deep value arbitrage, you could do day trading or swing trading or options, but a lot of those ways to make money require a significant amount of expertise and a huge investment in terms of the time and energy and amount of research it takes to do it and to do it well. But for me personally, and for probably most other retail investors out there, I think the best approach is to just simply buy and hold over the long term. And then if we're trying to actually outperform the market by a pretty significant percentage, then I think the best way is to buy and hold technologies or companies that do have that revolutionary or paradigm shifting potential. And that's where Palantir and Ethereum come in. Two revolutionary technologies with brilliant founders that have the potential to generate enormous future wealth. Now, I've done a lot of research and I truly believe that Ethereum has the potential to become the settlement layer for global financial transactions, as well as the base layer network upon which most of Web 3.0 or the metaverse is actually built. And Palantir, on the other hand, has the potential to become the operating system of modern enterprise and to make use of the massive amount of data that's being generated worldwide by companies and by governments to produce 10x or 20x efficiency and productivity gains. Now, it's important to note that neither of these is a sure thing, and there's definitely a risk that real-world adoption doesn't actually match what I believe is the technological potential. But it's a risk-weighted choice, and on my end, I'm placing my money on the side of the innovators and the disruptors that aren't attacking specific niches or industries, but that are taking on the complete structures and paradigms of the systems that currently exist. Both Palantir and Ethereum are industry-agnostic technologies that are taking on everything and that are disrupting the fundamental architecture of the current systems. So there you have it. Those are my two highest conviction investments. Now, I've done a ton of research on both of these technologies, and I'm going to throw a couple of links in the description box in case you want to see the more detailed and nuanced take of why I've built up so much conviction in these two investments. Now, if you're wondering why just two, well, there's a couple of reasons. On the one hand, it simply takes time and effort to build up this level of conviction in something. And on the other hand, I also believe that concentration is what it takes to build wealth, while diversification is what it takes to maintain wealth. And currently, I'm trying to build wealth. So these are my moonshot or swing for the fences plays. And if they don't work out, then I've got some real estate, some ETFs, and a pension fund to fall back on. But I wouldn't put my money against Palantir or against Ethereum.